Hi, and welcome to the Living in a Prius YouTube channel. Today we're going to cover a topic that's of interest to a growing number of people, and that is alternative workspaces. A lot of people, whether you're living in your car or working from home and looking for a place to get out of the house and work, there's just a lot of people who have alternative work situations and want a place that they can work each day but not spend a ton of money. And I want to say thank you to one of our subscribers for bringing up this issue because he travels a lot and he is also planning on living in his Prius as he travels and is looking for options to put in his full 8-hour workday. So again, whether you live in your car or you're just looking for alternative work options, we're going to cover the broad spectrum from co-working to free options that you can find if you're looking for a workplace to get your work done, getting out of your car, getting out of your house each day. And I'm glad that I can help with this issue because I'm in a unique situation. In addition to being known for living in my car and choosing a alternative lifestyle, I'm also CEO of Amenity Suites, which is an apartment brand. And one of the things that's unique is that we offer as a amenity at our apartments co-working space. And so I've done a lot of research on co-working, and also living in my car for the last 2.5 years, I found a lot of creative places to work at during the day. So let's get started looking at the different options out there. And let's start with the most traditional option. I have been a member of WeWork for years. I'm not presently, but I've tried a number of different co-working offices, and this is the most expensive option that we'll cover today. But again, I want to provide the entire spectrum of options that are available to you when it comes to alternative workplaces. So co-working is a concept where you can pay a monthly membership fee and you can be a part of an office. So in terms of WeWork as a national brand, they have locations all over the United States. And what you do is you sign up as a member, and then you can go into one or more of their locations depending on what type of membership you sign up for, and you can use their workspaces all day long. So here's an idea of how much it costs to be a member of a co-working office like WeWork. This basic membership is for if you want to be a member of a specific location in your town and be able to go there every day and work. So you can see they offer it they've got a special running at $170 a month. This plus membership is if you want to be able to work at any of their locations around the globe. So you pay $255 a month. Then if you travel a lot, you can drop into any of their locations across the United States and work there all day long. A lot of their locations are open 24 hours a day. So it's very convenient if you travel a lot or if you're looking for a 24-hour workspace where you can just have a key fob, you swipe at the front door and let yourself in and work anytime, day or night, but you pay for it. Again, this will be the most expensive option that we cover today. But again, there's a lot of perks to something like a WeWork, which has really nice facilities. This is Seattle, one of the WeWorks that I worked at while I was traveling. This is the one in Denver. They've got these lounge areas that are nice chairs and couches that are relaxing. You can sit at and with your laptop on your lap working. They've also got a lot of desks. They all have kitchens, so you can put your food in the refrigerator for the day until you're ready to grab lunch, or you can fix yourself free coffee or tea, in my case. And they've also got amenities like these, what they call phone booths, and they're basically privacy booths if you need to make calls, if you're in sales or other types of things. So if you want to spend $200 or $300 a month, a co-working is an option that you can look at. Do just a search for co-working in your city. If you're in a decent sized city or town, there's usually a good handful of options available for co-working spaces in your area. But you're probably here if you want to see the cheap or free work options. So let's get on to those. So the most popular probably for most people is Starbucks or a coffee shop. And trust me, I have spent my fair share of time working at a Starbucks, and this is one that's in Albuquerque, New Mexico that I worked at. It's great because you go in, you buy a cup of coffee, you can sit there and work for an hour or several hours. It's just dependent on how comfortable you are pretty much being a squatter in their store. when you're just spending a couple bucks for a cup of coffee or tea and then trying to spend the whole day there working. And I will say that one of the trends with Starbucks is they're getting rid of a lot of their indoor seating for reasons like this. They're trying to limit indoor seating and go to more of a retail outlet type store because they found, like a lot of coffee shops, that they get a lot of people who don't spend a lot of money but spend a lot of time in their store. And then there's just the traditional coffee shop. This is a coffee shop that I stopped at in Charleston, South Carolina. So again, coffee shops are still kind of the go-to for students or remote workers who are looking for a place to work. And there's still a lot of options out there that you can find. So just do a Google search for coffee shops in your area and kind of find your favorite few. The other option, if you travel a lot, is truck stops, especially truck stops like this one that's in Phoenix, Arizona, that has a food court style area because they have a lot of seating inside. And there's just a lot of people coming and going, so nobody notices if you're in there working a lot. So if you travel a lot, one of the good options that I found is truck stops or just rest stops that have a restaurant like a Subway or a McDonald's, because again, there's so much traffic coming and going. The workers there are not going to care if you've been there for several hours working on your laptop. And usually at the truck stops, there's a free Wi-Fi access, which is key if you're working at a restaurant or a coffee shop, is that free Wi-Fi access. That's why I also like McDonald's, because I'd go in and pay $1 for a large Diet Coke, and all McDonald's locations, as far as I've found, have free Wi-Fi access. It's not that great of Wi-Fi. I will say Starbucks does a great job with high quality Wi-Fi. McDonald's not so much because that's not their focus. They just kind of have Wi-Fi as an afterthought, but they do have Wi-Fi. So that's another place that you can think of going if you just want to sit and get some work done. And then in terms of free options that I've used are libraries. Libraries are great because they're used to people coming in and just spending the entire day there. They usually have Wi-Fi depending on the library. This is a library in Denver, Colorado, where I lived for several years. This is the library in downtown Boston that I worked at while I was staying there, which is an incredible place. And so libraries, check out which libraries are in your area and try them out as a work location. The other thing that I found that I used for a little while in Denver was museums. And so this is the Natural History Museum in Denver that actually has a big food court area with a lot of tables. And this costs you a little bit of money if you go to a place where there's a membership, but not a lot. Here you can see that an individual membership for the Natural History Museum in Denver only costs $65 a year. And I actually bought a membership there and would go there and work as one of my remote work alternatives. And it was a great place. But the key is you obviously don't want to go to a museum that doesn't have any seating. The key is to find a place like a museum or even a zoo if you live in an area where the weather's nice a lot, where there's a food court area or a big area with a lot of seating, where there's people coming and going and you're not going to stand out as somebody who's been sitting there working for several hours. The other option is food courts in shopping malls. So this is a shopping mall in Wichita, Kansas, where my hometown, where there's just a lot of seating because there's a lot of different restaurants there. So again, a good location. The thing about shopping malls is they may not have Wi-Fi or very good Wi-Fi, so that's one of the limitations. But if you've got a phone and a hotspot on your phone where you can create your own Wi-Fi, then that's an option for you. The other thing that I like that's a favorite of mine and that I'm presently using is universities. So this is the University of New Mexico. When I was traveling, I was at the Student Center. So universities have a lot of different work area options because they have students that are constantly doing homework. And so you've got your student centers that are a good place to go sit and work, like this one. And you've also got, and then here's another student center. This is at Wichita State University. They've got a student center. The other thing that you have at universities is libraries. This is the library there at Wichita State. The great thing about universities is that they usually have great Wi-Fi access, whether you're in a student center or whether you're in a library. They usually have a secure Wi-Fi access for students, but they usually almost always have a guest Wi-Fi that's open, so a great co-working option. The limitation with universities is that it's tough because of parking. Usually, all of the parking on campus is restricted to students, faculty, and staff, but also to visitors. So one creative kind of life hack that I found for alternative workspace is buying a visitor's pass. So in my hometown of Wichita, Kansas, I'm back there a lot. And so what I do is I just buy a semester parking pass at Wichita State University. And this is allowed. I'm not cheating the system in any way. A lot of universities have semester long guest pass for people who, for whatever reason, visit the university a lot. So as you can see here, it's $75 per semester. So I have a standing parking permit at Wichita State University. So whenever I'm in town, I can go to the university, park in any of their lots that are designated for visitors parking, and then go to the student center or go to the library. So it's one way that you can find in most cities where you can find a fairly inexpensive way to get access to a lot of different potential workspaces. Now, the final option, which if you, whether you live in your car or whether you're just trying to get out of the house, to get some work done, is your car. And so in my Prius, I've tried a lot of different things. Like, for instance, my daughter gave me one of those boards that you can set your laptop on that hooks to your steering wheel. And I appreciated that gift. It was very useful. But the other thing that I found is when you're in your car, if you want to work in your car has a passenger seat and a back seat. And if you got an SUV, usually that back seat's really big and roomy. So use one of the other seats in your car. So I started using the passenger side seat in my car as my work area. So I get up at 2 a.m. and start my work day. And so even if I have a membership at a co-working place or I'm using a university, usually it's too early to go into an office or go try to get access to the university. So I'll just get up at 2 a.m. and spend the first few hours of my day working in my car. So I'll just slide into the front seat and I'll use the passenger seat as my work area. If you're going to work in your car, one of the most convenient things is to get one of these little foam lap boards that you can set your laptop on. It creates a nice stable workspace. Laptops get your legs hot if they're sitting on your lap for several hours while you're working. And so this is a convenient item for working in your car and not very expensive. The other thing too is if you're going to work in your car is that you need some type of power source because most cars don't have a place where you can plug in things that are meant to plug into an outlet. Your laptop may have a great battery that lasts all day, so this may not be an issue. But if you're like me and you burn through laptop battery pretty quick, one of the things that you'll want to look at is getting something that can plug into a cigarette lighter, and then you can plug your laptop into that. And that's called an inverter. Now, one of the things you need to be careful about with inverters, this is one of the first ones I bought. It was convenient because it's set in the cup holder in my car right next to me. But I learned that there's different qualities of inverters, and this cheap one is not a good one if you have a delicate and expensive thing like a laptop. And so if you're going to buy an inverter, what you want to do is buy a good quality one. And again, an inverter is something that hooks to your car, hooks into your car battery or a cigarette lighter in your car and allows you to plug things into it. And so what it does is it converts your car's battery or DC power into AC power, which is what things use when you plug them into a wall outlet in a house. And so if you're going to get an inverter, make sure it's what's called a pure sine wave inverter, because pure sine wave inverters output the same quality of power that you get from plugging something into a wall outlet in a house. I don't want to get too deep into the engineering of this, but when you get an inverter that converts from car battery power to outlet power, AC power, it can be a cheap inverter that doesn't do a great job, and that can damage things like laptops, or you can get one that creates an output that's just like the power that comes out of an outlet in a house that gives you a good quality output and is safe for your laptop or other appliances. So The key is to get what's called a pure sine wave inverter if you're going to get an inverter for your car. The other option, if you travel a lot, especially if you're a car camper, is to look at a power station. This is a Jackery power station. A power station is something you can charge up either by having it plugged into the cigarette lighter in your car or by taking it inside and plugging it into a wall outlet and letting it charge up, so that when you're in your car during the day working, you can plug something into it and work for hours. And again, the reason you want this is because, one, you need something that's got an outlet you can plug your laptop into, number one. And number two, you probably don't want to run your car for hours while you're sitting in there working. So a power station's convenient because you can turn your car off and just have something to plug into that'll keep your laptop charged. So that's another option, especially if you car camp, and this can be used to set at your camping site and plug other things into. So I hope that information was helpful. I just wanted to cover a broad spectrum of options, whether you're living in your car or working from home, when it comes to alternative workspaces. So thanks for visiting the Living in a Prius YouTube channel. And as I say, please hit the subscribe button and join our community so you can be notified as new videos are posted. Thanks for watching this video.